Hi everybody, this is Kim Morse and thank you so much today for joining me for my Togetherness Tuesday. As most of you know, I come on live every Tuesday and we talk about different relationship problems and issues, and I give you my thoughts and some advice, and I'd love for any of you to comment live. That would really be great. So if you'd like to hear all of my posts, go ahead and subscribe to Sailing Happily Ever After, and then you'll get notified when I go live, and you'll be able to see this live and comment, and I will be able to answer any of your questions live. So today we are going to talk about how do you feel loved? And we are going to talk about that in the sense of what's called the 5 love languages. Now, the 5 love languages was a theory that was created by a man by the name of Gary Chapman, and it is pretty well accepted among relationship experts. And it basically is that we all feel loved in one of 5 different ways. Now, we really feel loved in all of these ways, but usually we have 1 or 2 that are really primary for us. So first I'm going to talk about what those love languages are, and then I'm going to talk about why they're important, and then I'm going to let you know how you can truly figure out which one is yours. So the first one, hi Sam, thanks for joining us, and thanks for the hearts. So the first one that we're going to talk about is acts of service. So what acts of service is that if that is your love language, then you really love it when the people in your life do nice little things for you. Whether it's something like doing the dishes for you as a surprise, helping out with any of the little chores, maybe it's checking the oil in your car for you. Just nice little things that you like. Oh, maybe breakfast in bed. That's something that my husband does for me all the time, and I love it. So these are kinds of acts of service. And if that is your love language, then having someone do those things for you is going to really help build your emotional bank account and help you to feel loved. The second one is quality time. So someone that really has quality time as their primary love language is really going to appreciate it when their partner makes an effort to spend quality time with them. Now, it doesn't have to be anything extravagant. We've talked before about how, time together doesn't have to be anything big, or we don't have to spend a lot of money. It might just be a nice little walk, hand in hand, sharing time with each other, maybe time sitting on the couch, watching a favorite movie together. All of these things are quality time. The third one is touch. And it can be just maybe the touch of a hand, maybe a touching of each other as you're passing in the kitchen or in the hallway, but just reaching out and giving your partner that personal touch of your hand, or a nudge, a kiss, something related to touch. And the fourth one is words of affirmation. Now, what that is specifically is that we love people who have words of affirmation as their love language love hearing that. So they love hearing things like, I appreciate you, or you're pretty, or even the words, I love you. It's really important to that person whose love language is words of affirmation to hear it. And the fifth one is receiving gifts. Now again, we're not necessarily talking about big extravagant gifts. We're talking about little tokens of love, like, maybe a flower or a note in a lunchbox. Any little trivial thing, trivet, that says, hey, I love you. So for everyone, each one of these things, if acts of service is your love language, it still may be different for you than it is for other people. So it's really important for you to define for yourself what that would mean for you. What acts of service would be important for you? And that's one of the reasons why knowing your love language is important, because we can then express to our partner what we need. You may not be feeling loved and you may not know what it is. And it may just be that you're missing getting that love language filled for you. And then it's also important to know what your partner's love language is, because then you'll be able to do that for them. You know, so often we tend to show love the same way that the way that we want to receive love. But if our partner's love language is different than ours, there may be a big disconnect there, because you may be feeling like you're showing your partner you love them all the time. I show my partner all the time how much I love them. But you're showing it in your love language. So say your love language is words of affirmation. So you're constantly telling your partner what they mean to you and how great they look and how much you appreciate them. But that's not important to them. Touch is important to them, and you're not touching them enough. So therefore, there's this disconnect. So it's really important to remember that just because we feel loved in a certain way doesn't mean that our partner feels love in that same way. So learn what your partner's love language is, learn what your love language is, and then you can both fill each other's emotional love tank. And you are going to fill these little areas of disconnect where you're just not feeling loved. So how do I figure out what my love language is? Well, maybe when I was going through the 5, maybe there was one that stood out for you and you went, I know that's mine. I know that's what it is. But if you're still not sure, or maybe they're like, well, they all sound great. Well, there's a little quiz that you can take that will let you know exactly what your love language is. And if you would like to know what that is, go ahead and message me and I will send you a link so that you can take the quiz and find out what your love language is. Or maybe you just want to know what your partner's love language is. Maybe you don't have a clue. So I will send you the link for the quiz, and you can give it to your partner and you can sit down together and look at this and try and figure out how you can make each other feel loved and fill that area of disconnection in your relationship. So I don't see that anyone has any questions. So if you have any questions, you got just a couple of minutes yet, or a little bit to give me a question. Be happy to answer it. If not, and in review, there's 5 love languages: acts of service, quality time, touch, words of affirmation, receiving gifts. Each one of us has 1 or 2 that are primary, really important to know what they are. And I really encourage you to do so. Also, be sure and subscribe to my live videos if you want to hear my tips every week, or you can just check them out on the Sailing Happily Ever After page. And I'd love for you to go there, like the page, follow me there. So until next time, keep keeping it together, and thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.